Welcome to my channel. Old Coins and Use a Day videos is one you want to miss. We're diving into the world of coins, so let's get it started. The 1917 United States 1 dime, officially called a winged Liberty head dime but affectionately known to collectors as a Mercury Dime, is one of the most artistically admired and symbolically powerful coins in American numismatic history. This dime carries all the essential national inscriptions: United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, 1 dime, Liberty, and in God we trust. Struck during a momentous era when the United States was entering World War I, the 1917 dime embodies both the idealism and determination of a nation that stood for freedom, unity, and hope. Designed by Adolph A. Weinman, one of America's most celebrated sculptors of the early 20th century, this coin remains a masterpiece of design and symbolism that continues to captivate historians, artists, and coin collectors more than a century after its creation. On the obverse front of the 1917 dime, we find a striking portrait of Lady Liberty, depicted wearing a Phrygian cap adorned with wings. This image is rich in meaning. The Phrygian cap has been a classical symbol of freedom since ancient times, representing the liberation of the mind and spirit, while the wings symbolize freedom of thought. This unique artistic choice led to the coin's enduring nickname, the Mercury Dime, because Liberty's appearance with a winged cap resembles a Roman god Mercury, the messenger of the gods. However, it is not Mercury, but Liberty herself, a representation of American ideals of independence, progress, and enlightenment. Surrounding her head is a word Liberty, beautifully spaced along the upper rim. To the left of her neck, in small letters, is the national motto, In God We Trust, a solemn declaration of faith that first appeared on U.S. coins during the Civil War era and had become a standard element of American coinage. Beneath Liberty's neck, aligned along the rim, is a date 1917, marking the coin's year minting. Just to the right of the date are the artist's initials, A.W., for Adolph A. Weinman, subtly honoring the designer's craftsmanship. The reverse back of the 1917 dime carries an equally powerful and symbolic image, a Roman fasces, a bundle of rods tied together with a ribbon, with an axe emerging from the top. The fasces is an ancient symbol of authority and unity, representing the idea that strength arises through cooperation, that a single rod may break easily, but many bound together are unbreakable. Wound around the fasces is an olive branch, a traditional emblem of peace. Together, these two elements communicate a profound message. America seeks peace, but it possesses a strength and unity to defend its freedom and ideals. This symbolism was especially relevant in 1917, as the United States entered World War I, a conflict that tested the nation's resolve and commitment to justice and liberty. Around the reverse border, the inscriptions United States of America and 1 dime appear prominently, while the Latin motto E Pluribus Unum, out of many, one, is engraved to the right of the fasces, further emphasizing unity among the states. The 1917 Mercury Dime was struck in 3 U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D; and San Francisco, S. The mint mark, when present, appears on the reverse to the right of the E in 1 dime, near the base of the olive branch. Each mint contributed differently to the year's total production. The Philadelphia mint struck the largest quantity, making the no mint mark variety the most common, while the Denver and San Francisco mint struck fewer coins, often with slight variations in strike sharpness or die characteristics. The coin's composition is 90% silver and 10% copper, giving it both durability and intrinsic value. It weighs 2.5 grams, measures 17.9 millimeters in diameter, and features a reeded edge. Because of its silver content, the coin possesses a natural brilliance when new, and over time can develop attractive toning, soft hues of gold, blue, and gray that collectors often prize. In historical context, 1917 was a defining year for the United States. The nation had just entered World War I in April, joining the Allied powers in their fight against tyranny and militarism. It was a time of great change, unity, and sacrifice. The Mercury Dime's design, created only a year earlier in 1916, perfectly captured the spirit of this era. The symbolism of liberty with wings, representing free thought and progress, and the fasces and olive branch, representing strength and peace, resonated deeply with the public. This coin circulated widely during the war years, finding its way into the hands of soldiers, factory workers, farmers, and families alike, an emblem of American resolve and purpose. The Mercury Dime also reflected a broader artistic movement in U.S. coin design during the early 20th century. Under President Theodore Roosevelt's influence, American coinage had entered a renaissance of design, emphasizing artistic excellence and national symbolism. Weinman's Mercury Dime joined a lineup of beautiful coins from this golden era, including his own Walking Liberty half-dollar and the Standing Liberty quarter by Herman McNeil. These designs broke away from the static, utilitarian look of earlier coinage, instead embracing classical imagery that expressed American ideals through fine art. From a numismatic perspective, the 1917 Mercury Dime is both collectible and historically meaningful. The Philadelphia issue had the highest mintage, exceeding 55 million pieces, while the Denver Mint produced approximately 9 million, and the San Francisco Mint struck around 34 million. The Philadelphia issue is generally the most common in circulated condition, but well-struck examples from Denver and San Francisco, especially those showing full bands, FB, on the reverse, are much scarcer and command higher premiums among collectors. The full band designation refers to the sharply defined horizontal bands across the fasces on the reverse, indicating a strong, high-quality strike. Coins that retain full detail in Liberty's hair and the fasces are particularly sought after, especially in mint state MS grades. In terms of circulation, the 1917 Mercury Dime was an essential part of daily life in early 20th century America. A single dime held significant purchasing power. It could buy a loaf of bread, a newspaper, or a ride on a city trolley. For this reason, most of the 1917 dimes saw extensive use, making high-grade, well-preserved examples relatively rare today. Many of these coins show smooth wear on Liberty's hair, the wings, and the central reverse design. Nonetheless, even worn examples hold both silver value and historical significance. Beyond its monetary worth, the 1917 Mercury Dime remains a powerful symbol of American endurance, intellect, and aspiration. Its design captures the ideals that guided the nation through war and economic uncertainty, emphasizing that peace and liberty are inseparable from strength and unity. The combination of artistic mastery, national symbolism, and historical context makes the 1917 issue one of the most fascinating dimes of the 20th century. In the world of numismatics, collectors prize the 1917 dime not only for its age and silver content, but also for its timeless beauty. In uncirculated condition, its luster and sharpness reveal the full genius of Weinman's design, Liberty's serene expression. The 1918 United States $1 dime, officially known as a winged Liberty head dime but popularly called a Mercury Dime, stands as one of the most artistically admired and symbolically rich coins in American history. Struck during the tumultuous final year of World War I, this dime reflects the optimism, unity, and forward-looking spirit of early 20th century America. It bears the inscriptions United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, $1 dime, Liberty, and In God We Trust, all of which embody the country's foundational ideals and enduring values. Designed by the renowned sculptor Adolph A. Weinman, the Mercury Dime was introduced in 1916 to replace the long-running Barber Dime series, and it remained in production until 1945. The 1918 issue, struck at 3 different U.S. mints, Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S, represents an especially important year in both numismatic and historical terms. The obverse front of the 1918 Mercury Dime features one of the most iconic depictions of liberty in American coinage. The central figure is Lady Liberty, shown facing left, wearing a Phrygian cap adorned with wings. This image symbolizes freedom of thought, a core value that resonated deeply in the intellectual and political climate of the time. Because the winged cap resembles that worn by the Roman god Mercury, the coin earned its popular nickname Mercury Dime, though it has nothing to do with a mythological deity. The word liberty is inscribed boldly around the upper rim of the coin, while the national motto In God We Trust appears to the left of Liberty's neck. The date 1918 is located at the lower right near the truncation of the bust, and the designer's initials AW, for Adolph Weinman, can be seen discreetly beneath the neck. Liberty's portrait is exquisitely detailed, with flowing hair and a serene expression, symbolizing America's commitment to peace, justice, and enlightenment even in the shadow of war. On the reverse back, the coin's design continues to reflect a powerful message of unity and preparedness. It features a Roman fasces, a bundle of rods bound together with an axe, representing strength through unity and the nation's readiness to defend freedom. Encircling the fasces is an olive branch, a timeless symbol of peace. This juxtaposition of peace and strength was particularly poignant in 1918, as the world approached the end of the Great War. The inscriptions United States of America appear along the upper perimeter and one dime along the bottom. The national motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, is engraved at the right of the fasces, reinforcing the unity of the states within the American Republic. Weinman's intricate detailing of the fasces and olive branch creates a textured, balanced, and deeply symbolic composition, one that communicates both resilience and the hope for peace after conflict. The physical composition of the 1918 dime remained consistent with earlier and later issues of the series. It was struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, giving it intrinsic precious metal value in addition to its face value. The coin weighs 2.5 grams, measures 17.9 millimeters in diameter, and has a reeded edge. These specifications were standardized under the Coinage Act of 1873 and remain unchanged until the United States moved away from silver coinage in 1965. Because of its silver content, the 1918 dime possesses natural luster and often displays attractive toning over time, especially in higher-grade examples that have not been cleaned or circulated heavily. The 1918 Mercury dime was struck at 3 mints. Philadelphia, no mint mark. The main mint, which produced over 26 million dimes that year, making this the most common issue. Denver, D mint mark. The Denver Mint struck around 22 million dimes in 1918, a large number but often with slightly weaker strikes. San Francisco, S Mint mark. The San Francisco Mint struck fewer than 20 million dimes, many of which are scarcer today in high grades due to lower striking quality and heavy circulation. The placement of the mint mark, if present, is on the reverse side, to the right of the E in 1 dime, near the lower portion of the olive branch. In terms of historical context, 1918 was a defining year for the United States and the world. It marked the final year of World War I, which ended with the signing of the armistice on November 11th. The Mercury Dime's design, with its themes of freedom, unity, and peace, perfectly reflected the sentiment of a nation that had just played a decisive role in securing global stability. The coin circulated widely across an economy transitioning from wartime production to peacetime prosperity, and it quickly became a symbol of hope and endurance. For ordinary Americans in the early 20th century, this dime was a small but tangible representation of their country's strength and ideals. From a numismatic perspective, the 1918 issue holds special importance not only because of its age and design, but also due to its connection to a transitional period in American minting. The Mercury Dime was part of a broader movement to modernize U.S. coinage with more artistic and symbolic designs, replacing the more utilitarian motifs of the 19th century. Weinman's work, along with that of contemporaries like Herman McNeil, designer of the Standing Liberty Quarter, and Augustus St. Gaudens, designer of the $20 gold double eagle, elevated American coins into miniature works of art. Collectors today value the 1918 Mercury Dime based on condition, mint mark, and strike quality. Coins in good, G4, condition still show the basic design but have heavy wear. Fine, F12, and very fine, VF20. Examples retain more details in Liberty's hair and the fasces. Extremely fine, XF40. To mint state, MS60 and above, dimes show full details and luster. Particularly desirable are coins with full bands, FB, on the reverse, meaning the horizontal bands on the fasces are fully separated and sharply defined, indicating a strong strike. Such examples are rare and can command high premiums, especially from the Denver and San Francisco mints. Beyond its monetary worth, the 1918 Mercury Dime endures as a symbol of American artistry, resilience, and idealism. Its blend of classical symbolism and modern design encapsulates an era when the United States emerged as a global leader and a defender of democratic ideals. More than a century later, collectors and historians continue to admire its craftsmanship and the ideals it embodies. Each surviving 1918 dime serves not only as a link to the past, but also as a shining example of how even the smallest objects, mere coins exchanged in everyday commerce, can capture the essence of a nation's character and spirit. The 1920 United States 1 dime is a fascinating coin from the early 20th century, representing a pivotal time in American numismatic history and national identity. Commonly referred to as a Mercury Dime, though officially named the Winged Liberty Head Dime, this coin was minted by the United States Mint from 1916 to 1945. The year 1920 falls right in the heart of this era, making it a significant specimen both historically and artistically. It carries the traditional inscriptions United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, 1 dime, Liberty, and In God We Trust. Designed by Adolph A. Weinman, a sculptor and engraver renowned for his artistry, this dime stands as one of the most beloved designs in U.S. coinage history. On the obverse front of the coin, we see the beautiful portrait of Lady Liberty, depicted with a winged cap symbolizing freedom of thought. Many people mistakenly call this image Mercury, after the Roman messenger god, hence the nickname Mercury Dime, but the figure is actually Liberty herself. The word Liberty arches around the top rim of the coin, and the motto In God We Trust is found to the left near her neck. Below her neck truncation appears the date 1920, indicating the year of minting. The artist's initials, AW for Adolph Weinman, can be found near the rim to the right of the date. The design is strikingly detailed, showing flowing hair, gentle facial expression, and the winged cap, a symbol of enlightenment and freedom, perfectly representing the ideals of the early 20th century United States. The reverse back of the coin *** features a Roman fasces ***, a bundle of rods with an axe, symbolizing strength through unity and justice, surrounded by an olive branch representing peace. This balanced combination of peace and strength was a reflection of America's stance in the years following World War I. The inscriptions include United States of America at the top and 1 dime at the bottom, with E Pluribus Unum, out of many, one, to the right of the fasces. This motto embodies the unity of the states forming one nation. The artistry of the reverse is subtle but powerful, with the fasces' fine texture and the delicate curves of the olive branch creating a harmonious and symbolic design that appealed to both collectors and the public alike. The 1920 Mercury Dime were produced in 3 U.S. mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. Each mint issued millions of coins, but survival in top condition varies. The Philadelphia mint struck the largest quantity, while San Francisco issues are often considered scarcer in higher grades. The coin's composition was 90% silver and 10% copper, giving it both intrinsic and historical value. It weighs 2.5 grams, measures 17.9 millimeters in diameter, and has a reeded edge. Because it was struck in silver, many examples show light toning away over time, with well-preserved pieces displaying brilliant luster and fine detail. In historical context, the 1920 Mercury Dime reflects an America emerging from the turmoil of World War I, entering a decade of change, prosperity, and artistic innovation. The coin embodies ideals of liberty, trust, and national unity, with its symbolism resonating deeply in a period when America sought to define its role as a global power. The winged liberty represents intellectual freedom and progress, while the fasces and olive branch represent the balance between justice and peace. Adolph Weinman's design broke away from the more traditional liberty head styles of earlier coinage, such as the Barber dime, bringing a modern, elegant aesthetic that aligned with the Art Nouveau movement of the era. For collectors today, the 1920 dime holds both monetary and historical significance. In circulated condition, it remains affordable, but in uncirculated grades, particularly with full bands on the reverse, referring to the sharply defined horizontal bands on the fasces, it can command a premium. These full band examples are highly sought after, as they demonstrate strong strikes and minimal wear. Coins with mint marks from Denver or San Francisco are often valued higher, especially if they retain their original luster. Over the past century, the Mercury Dime has become a symbol of classic American coin artistry. Even after its replacement in 1946 by the Roosevelt dime, its beauty and symbolism continue to captivate numismatists. The 1920 edition stands as a tangible piece of early 20th century America, a reminder of a nation striving toward peace and progress after a period of global conflict, carrying forward the eternal values of liberty, trust, and unity inscribed upon its surface. The 1935 United States 1 dime, officially known as a winged Liberty head dime but affectionately called the Mercury Dime, stands as one of the most graceful and enduring designs in American numismatic history. It was produced during the heart of the Great Depression, a time when the United States faced profound economic struggle, yet still sought to express its ideals of liberty, unity, and resilience through its coinage. Bearing the inscriptions United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, one dime, liberty, and in God we trust. This coin beautifully combines art, symbolism, and history. Designed by Adolph A. Weinman, a sculptor known for his neoclassical artistry, the Mercury Dime series ran from 1916 to 1945 and remains one of the most admired American silver coin designs ever created. The 1935 issue captures both the artistic spirit of its time and the enduring strength of a nation recovering from hardship. On the obverse front of the coin appears a radiant figure of liberty, depicted wearing a Phrygian cap adorned with wings. This imagery symbolizes freedom of thought and intellectual liberty, concepts deeply rooted in American identity. Liberty faces left, her features youthful and idealized, with her hair flowing gracefully beneath the winged cap. Around the upper edge of the coin is the inscription Liberty, while the national motto In God We Trust appears to the left, just below her chin. The date 1935 is located at the bottom center, beneath Liberty's neck. To the right of the date are the initials AW, representing the designer Adolph A. Weinman. The obverse design is both elegant and deeply symbolic, embodying the American ideal of enlightened freedom at a time when the nation was searching for renewal and hope. The fine details of Liberty's face, the smooth curves of her cap, and the refined sculptural style of the lettering together make this one of the most artistic coins ever issued by the U.S. Mint. The reverse back of the 1935 dime features a Roman fasces, a bundle of rods tied together with an axe protruding from the top, which symbolizes unity and strength through justice. Wrapped around the fasces is an olive branch, representing peace. This delicate balance of peace and power serves as a timeless reflection of America's philosophy, seeking peace but always prepared to defend liberty and justice. Around the outer rim, the inscriptions United States of America appear at the top and one dime at the bottom, while the Latin motto E Pluribus Unum, out of many, one, runs vertically to the right of the fasces. The reverse designs fine detail, particularly in the texture of the rods, the leaves of the olive branch, and the sharpness of the axe blade, showcases Weinman's mastery of relief sculpture and his ability to blend classical and modern artistic elements into a compact, everyday object of national pride. The 1935 Mercury Dime was struck in 3 U.S. Mint facilities: Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. The mint mark, if present, is found on the reverse to the right of the E in ONE near the bottom of the olive branch. The Philadelphia Mint produced the largest quantity that year, while the Denver and San Francisco issues are slightly scarcer in higher grades. The coin's composition was 90% silver and 10% copper, with a total weight of 2.5 grams, a diameter of 17.9 millimeters, and a reeded edge. These specifications have been standard since the late 19th century, ensuring consistency and recognizability in U.S. silver coinage. The high silver content gives the coin a bright white luster when uncirculated and a soft, attractive toning in older examples that have aged naturally over time. In historical context, the 1935 dime was minted during one of the most challenging yet transformative periods in U.S. history. The country was in the midst of the Great Depression, a devastating economic downturn that had begun in 1929 and continued through the early 1930s. By 1935, President Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal policies were taking effect, aiming to restore economic stability, provide employment, and reform financial systems. During these years, coins like the Mercury Dime were a daily part of life, used in grocery stores, train stations, and factories across the nation. For many Americans, a single dime could buy a meal, a newspaper, or even a movie ticket, making it a coin of significant everyday importance. The Mercury Dime, with its ideals of liberty and unity, stood as a small but potent reminder of the nation's enduring spirit amidst hardship. The artistic design of the Mercury Dime also represented a continuation of the early 20th century's movement toward more beautiful and meaningful coinage. Weinman, who also designed the walking Liberty half dollar, was part of a group of artists commissioned during the coinage renaissance initiated by President Theodore Roosevelt decades earlier. His designs aimed to transform American coinage from mere instruments of commerce into symbols of national identity and artistic expression. The 1935 Mercury Dime exemplifies this ideal perfectly, balancing aesthetic grace with moral and cultural symbolism. From a numismatic standpoint, the 1935 issue is well regarded for its generally sharp strikes and consistent quality. The Philadelphia issue had the highest mintage, over 58 million coins, making it common in circulated grades but still desirable in uncirculated condition. The Denver Mint struck about 10 million, while the San Francisco Mint produced around 15 million. Collectors often seek examples with full bands, FB, on the reverse, the term referring to the horizontal bands on the fasces being fully separated and distinct. These sharply struck coins demonstrate exceptional detail and are far more valuable in the collector's market. High-grade examples, especially those certified as MS65 or higher with full bands, display stunning luster and eye appeal, commanding strong premiums among numismatists. Over the decades, the 1935 Mercury Dime has remained a symbol of endurance, artistry, and American pride. Its silver content and timeless design make it a favorite among both serious collectors and casual enthusiasts. Even worn examples tell a story of perseverance, coins that pass through countless hands during an era of uncertainty, perhaps saved by families or children as lucky charms or keepsakes. In pristine condition, the dime reflects the full beauty of Wyman's vision, showing how American coinage in this period was not merely monetary but also profoundly expressive of national ideals. Today, the 1935 winged Liberty head dime continues to capture the imagination of collectors around the world. It stands as a tangible link to a past defined by struggle and recovery, by the determination of ordinary citizens to rebuild and hope. More than just a 10-cent piece, it is a work of art in miniature, an enduring tribute to freedom, faith, unity, and resilience. Each 1935 Mercury Dime, whether well-circulated or mint-bright, serves as a small silver monument to the American story, carrying forward the eternal ideals etched into its surface: liberty, in God we trust, and e pluribus unum.